Hi everyone, this video is on two-step inequalities. So when we're doing inequalities, we solve them just like equations, except you need to be careful if you end up multiplying or dividing by a negative. So for this problem, we have negative 4x plus 35, and that's greater than 2. So we're going to subtract 35. That means this is now negative 4x greater than negative 33. Okay, so then we're going to divide by negative 4, and when we do that, we're going to get 8.25, because these negative signs would cancel, these would cancel, the 4's would cancel. However, you divide it by a negative, so that sign has to flip. So that means we would have x is less than 8.25. So going back to here is less than 8.25. All right, for this one, same process. So we again have 8x plus 2 greater than 34. We're going to subtract 2, subtract 2. So now 8x is greater than 32, but now we're dividing by a positive. Since you divide by a positive, the sign stays the same. So x is greater than 32 divided by 8, which is 4. All right, for this one, we have to worry about the graphing. Remember, if there's a line underneath the symbol, that means that it would be a solid dot. So in this situation, the answer has to be A or B because there's a solid dot. So continuing to solve this, we would have 9 minus 4d greater than or equal to negative 3. So we would subtract 9. So negative 4d is greater than or equal to negative 12. We would then divide by negative 4 and divide by negative 4. So when you do that, because you divided by a negative, that sign has to flip, which would mean that this is going to be D. The sign flips, and negative, those would cancel each other, just like these would. And 12 divided by 4 then is 3. So we're looking for where D is less than or equal to 3, which would be choice A. And again, it's a solid dot because there's a line underneath the symbol. Okay, 10c plus 5 less than or equal to 45. So 10c plus 5 less than or equal to 45. So we add 5, we add 5. So that would mean that we now have 10c is less than or equal to 50. And then again, in order to solve, you're going to have to then divide. So divide by 10, divide by 10. Since you divided by a positive, the sign is going to stay the same. The c is still over here, and 50 divided by 10 is 5. Since there's a line underneath the symbol, it's solid. So a solid dot, like in A and B, but not the way it is here in C and D. And I made a mistake because, again, if this is plus 5, that would mean that I would have had to have subtracted 5. So again, be careful in your work. That would be 40, which would mean that this answer here would not be 5, that would be a 4. So we're looking for C is less than or equal to 4 with a solid dot. The answer is B. Okay, for this one, we have negative 3x plus 8 less than 15. So we do the opposite, which is opposite of adding 8, subtracting 8, subtracting 8. Always walk through the steps so you don't make mistakes like I did on the previous problem. So negative 3x then, these cancel, are less than 7. We divide by negative 3 to get rid of the negative 3. However, because you divided by a negative, that sign has to flip. So that means the sign's now going to be a greater than sign. The x is still here, these cancel. A positive divided by a negative is a negative, and then 7 divided by 3, use your calculator, I get 2 1/3. So 2 1/3. However, I think I'm going to leave it as negative 7 divided by 3. So x, and again the sign flipped, is greater than negative 7 divided by 3. Okay, for this one, 5x plus 13 greater than or equal to negative 37. So 5x plus 13 greater than or equal to negative 37. So to get rid of the adding of 13, we need to subtract 13. Subtract 13. So that means this is 5x greater than or equal. Now you got to be careful here because this is you owe 37 and you owe 13. So now you owe and you add these together. So when you add those together, you're going to get 50. Now we're going to divide by 5 and divide by 5. It does not matter that this was a negative. What matters is the number you divided by. The number you divided by was a positive 5. So the sign is going to stay the same. That's x. Negative divided by a positive is a negative. 50 divided by 5 is 10. So x is greater than or equal to 10. So, oh, I forgot to put my negative sign. Negative 10. So again, don't make a mistake like that. You got to be careful. Negative 10. X is greater than or equal to negative 10. I would recommend writing stuff down on a piece of paper because you would have then been able to see it when you typed it in, which they're not allowing me to do. All right, for this one, negative 3b minus 15 greater than negative 24. So negative 3b minus 15 greater than negative 24. So to get rid of the minus 15, we have to add 15 and add 15. So this is then negative 3b is greater than, you owe 24, you pay back 15. So if you owe 24 and you pay back 15, that would mean that you owe 9. Okay, but then you need to get rid of the multiplying by the negative 3. So you divide by negative 3, divide by negative 3, which means that your sign is going to have to flip because you divided here by a negative 3. These all cancel, the negative signs cancel. 9 divided by 3 is 3. This is still B. There's no line underneath the symbol, so the answer has to be either A or D, because it has to be an open circle, because there's no line, and then B has to be less than 3, so it ends up being A. Hopefully that video helped you. Thank you.